All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. If there's anybody new out there, welcome to Coach Cruz. I'm your host, Brad. And anyway, I've been looking forward to this show pretty much the whole week when I came up with the idea. And I'll tell you, we have some guests joining us. A couple of the guests you'll know because many of you are subscribed to their channel already. And that is our brother channel. Uh, Derek from Island Time is going to be joining us. And then we have a couple other channels. And the thing is, and the reason I wanted Derek especially is because, I say, Island Time's like our brother channel because he started, a few months before me. But, I've kind of leaned on him for, some guidance when I was getting my channel going and things like that. And so, I just think it's also fitting to, when other people are looking to get in the creating of videos, cruise content, and things like that, that I also, try to help in that endeavor. And I've done that a little bit. So, as Derek has done for me. So that's why I wanted to make sure. But I want to say hi to as many people as possible here real quick before we get our guests on board. Seg was the first to join, got first place. Kyle, welcome aboard here. Cruise Life TV, they just got off the Carnival celebration, and they actually sent me a little video that was really cool from the Alchemy Bar. So I enjoyed that. Let's see here. Kevin, another Kevin, the Kevin Stockloffer from Odessa, Maryland. Missouri. I'm sorry, Odessa, Missouri. Welcome back, Kevin. And let's go through here. A lot of people chatting. We got Lito Tito. I just saw Lito Tito on Island Time yesterday. Always good to have Lito Tito here. I'm guessing Michelle is along the ride too. We have Sandy. The Lost Pirate Jenkins, great to have you back again. Jimbo from Memphis, great to have you back. Nick, great to have you back. Chris is back. Good to see you. And yes, I do. Will G is here once again. There's Usnavi, Michelle, and I think we're pretty much caught up. So I'm going to bring on one gentleman here that most of you know very well. And that is Derek from Island Time. Welcome to the show, Derek. It's been a little while, but always love when you come on. And
what's up, Coach? Hope that you're doing well, brother.
Oh yeah, 100%. And thanks for joining us. And as I was saying in the intro, everybody, Derek, he's younger than me, but in the business, he's more like a big brother. Because he knows the ins and outs a little bit better than me. And he's definitely helped me, along the way. He started before me, so he had a little bit of a head start, but he knows a lot more about the analytics and a bunch of other stuff that, I've leaned on and he's kind of guided me. And he's always endorsed, the channel. And that's why I've always referred to Island Time as our brother channel and stuff. So, but another reason I wanted, Derek to come on is because this is, I'm calling the milestone episode, and Derek is just short of 20,000 subscribers.
That's crazy.
Less than 3 years, right?
Yeah, about 2.5 years, I'd say. Just about, which that 2.5 years has flown by. It really has, Coach. Like Coach said, he started just a few months after I did, and we are brothers on this journey. Coach, we need to make a video sometime just about the realities of being a YouTuber, which I don't like that term, but it's what people call us, content creators, and the grind that it takes, over 2.5 years. I was looking the other day, I think it blew my mind out of the water. I've created 751 videos, and you've created, I think, 600 and something. I mean, just the amount of time and hours and preparation and all of it. Capturing content, editing, posting, responding to comments. It's one of the greatest blessings, though. No lie, it's not. And you know this as well. Being able to interact with people is awesome. But then to meet people in person that love cruising just as much as you do is really cool. And that's one thing that I have really gotten from this the last 2.5 years is putting faces and names together. I've invited people to my home that I would have never known unless it were through cruising, and people have invited me into their home. same thing. And so it's been such a blessing, and it's exciting to see too what's next. You know, Coach, I've said a couple different times the last week, I think you create some of the best onboard content out there, anywhere, really. And you've got a niche for it, and you do a good job of capturing onboard experiences. You do an awesome job at it. And as you continue to do that, you're going to continue to grow. And I'm excited for, like you said, we need to get on a ship together again. We've done it a couple of times and had an absolute blast.
Yeah, absolutely. That everybody always talks about. I know Fireball Steve and Lito Tito, and when they're on this station, it always seems like it goes back to the Havana area on the horizon. Right. When we were all partying on that ship. So yeah, we got to try to hook up another Havana experience. But we had a few more people join on, Usnavi and Lito Tito, as you saw, and we got I mentioned Cruise Life TV. Ann is here, and I met on the Magic last Thanksgiving. Not this Thanksgiving, but last Thanksgiving. Lalila is here. I saw her on your show yesterday. What's going on, Lalila? Will G is an island cruiser. I refer to people that are islanders and coach cruisers as island cruisers. So, you know, you're right. Subscribed to both channels. And if anybody is not here, if anybody's here that is not already subscribed to Island Time, by all means do that. Let's try to get Derek to 20,000 before the end of the month. That'd be
awesome. Coach said it's a milestone goal, and Coach, you know this. When you start doing this, you don't even think about 20,000. I know I didn't at all. You think about how long can I do this until people don't care anymore, you know? And then when people care, and I watch some of my early videos and look at the content I was putting out, and I'm like, how did I even get 2,000? Because the content was terrible. The filming, the lighting was terrible. And now here we are at almost 20,000. It's been the greatest blessing. And it's competitive. You're a competitive person. And now it's like, let's see if we can do it. Can we get 20,000? And Coach, you're about to hit a big goal as well. There's only it's 1.7%, I think is what I saw. 1.7% of YouTube channels get 2,000 subscribers, and less than 1%. It was like 0.6 something get above 5,000. And so, Coach, I know you've referenced that about a year ago of that 5,000 mark and how not many channels get past that. You're exactly right. But who knows what's ahead for both of us? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I remember I had this discussion with a couple other creators, and I don't know. Sometimes it starts off slow, you know, and then you pick up speed and momentum, and sometimes you have a good video that pops and you get a lot of subscribers and things like that. But yeah, you know, you made reference to it. The thing that I appreciate the most about starting all of this is just the people, you know, like Lito Tito, you know, coined the phrase family and you know, cruise family. And it's, you know, I was messaging some people that I met on the Magic, and there was a couple other people I met on there, and, you know, we messaged each other, you know, today about a potential cruise on the horizon next Thanksgiving or something. And, you know, it's just, you make all these connections, not only across the nation, but across the world, especially when it comes to crew members. I mean, I'm, you know, friends with Lee now, and I consider him like a good friend, Lee Mason from the Carnival Celebration. I mean, he is just a great human being. I mean, he is one of the coolest people, you know, I mean, toward everybody. I mean, whether you're young, old, you know, I mean, some things I've admired about him is just, you know, he's learned sign language to better communicate with guests, you know, just so he can give them, you know, the experience that they deserve, and try to give them as close to the same experience as, you know, somebody that might be of the hearing, you know, obviously blessed with their hearing and stuff like that. So well, look at that. Sherry and Jay Bell are here, and they started us off with a very, very generous super chat, and thanks so much. And you know what? You nailed that perfectly, Jay and Sherry, because
we had made it to 50.
Oh,
And
sweet.
so you are 51 through 100. And that means we're going to do a shirt drawing here.
There we go.
And then I'll do that before we invite our next guest in. But I'm going to put Sherry.
Coach, let me share this too while you're writing that down. I know that all of us appreciate the giveaways that you do. I think both of us watch other content creators. We're fans of them. I communicate with them. I know you do too. And I had lunch with Tony from La Liga Loca, just a couple of weeks ago. You look at their shows, and of course, the chat is just going crazy. There's not many people that do giveaways. That's not the norm. And so for you to offer that, we try to do the same thing. And I know it's just as you think in your mind, how can I say thank you? How can I show that I appreciate you? And that's one way that I know that you do it, and it's appreciated. It really is.
Yeah. Well, and I have some of your merch from you doing the very same thing, from winning on the drawings and stuff like that. So yeah, it's always, and I believe, that saying, when you give, you give back so much more. And I really believe that. Like when I go on cruises, I have all these buttons and stickers with the Coach Cruise, logo on it and stuff like that. And, when I host bar crawls, I buy lays to give everybody to, and they're not giving those away. They're not super expensive or anything.
Yeah.
You want to make the experience fun for everybody. And, I found that, the more you're giving, the more people, I don't know, it's just, you get that much more back.
That's right.
Like Sherry and Jay here, we went and had dinner together on the celebration just not too long ago. And they're great people. There's a couple other people I wouldn't have met. All right. So let me get to this shirt drawing real quick. For those of you new to the channel, anytime you do a super chat, like you could do a $2 super chat. And for example, let's see, Rick I'll just go through this. So Carnival Cruise Addicts, coincidentally, it'll be a coincidence in a minute here. They have numbers 1 through 8. Rick Wade has numbers 9 through 13. Frankie Floyd has numbers 14 through 18. Sandy, the Pirate Jenkins, who's here, also has 19 through 23. Tim G, I don't know if he's checked in yet, but he has 24 through 38. Ann, who's here, has 39 through 48. Rick is numbers 49 and 50. So if I call 49 and 50, for example, on that $2 super chat, he wins a shirt. And then Sherry and Jay have 51 through 100. So I just say to Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100, and then she squirts out a number, and whatever that number is, that's the person that wins. All right, Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. What do we got there? 24. And that is Tim G, and Sandy the Pirate Jenkins is going, dang it, because she had 19 through 23. Sandy, you missed it by just one.
And Tim G just hopped on, so he just saw.
There you go. Look at that, Cheryl and Tim. That must have been an omen. And boom, you got the shirt. So Tim, congratulations for that. And we will start a new drawing. So any other super chat here, even if we don't get to the 100, you notice I had 50 from last week carries over, always carries over to make sure that, you have a chance. Sorry about that, Sandy. And Sandy, we'll put your darn up there. But, and then the other thing is, and Jay and Sherry, you all are responsible for this. So I have bully bites, and this takes a long time here to chew this up. So Zoe's going to get a treat. Any $10 super chat, you get Zoe a nice treat. I have a few varieties of treats up here, but this one's going to take her a while for this. So yeah, I was going to ask you. She's already saying thank you. Say thank you to Sherry and Jay again. Say thank you. Okay, good girl. All right. So thank you for that. And Sherry and Jay, you also got me a shot whenever it's $15 or more super chat. And we are going with the 4 Roses. The reason I switched to 4 Roses this week compared to that bourbon I had last week, that bourbon last week was 96 proof. and you all about put me on the floor. This is only 90 proof, which, I mean, that may not sound like a lot less, but that 90, that extra 6, I'm telling you, that can be a little dangerous sometimes. And I was feeling it after last week. So Jay and Sherry, thank you once again, my friends. Crystal, she's saying, oh, that poor pup. Why is she poor pup? She just got a treat. All right. So I want to invite on some guests here, and they are starting cruise creators. Well, not starting. They've been around a little bit, but I mean, they're growing. They're working toward the first milestone, and their milestone is they're trying to hit 500. They're trying to get halfway to that magic number that everybody's going for when you start off in YouTube. And they're almost to 500. So anybody that's not subscribed to them, one thing I was hoping to do, and we got over 34 people in the room here now, but if just 10 of you could go to their channel and subscribe, I'm telling you, they would be so pumped. Because as you know, when you're starting out your channel, if you get one new subscriber a day, you're like, oh, we got a new subscriber, and you're all excited about it. So if they could jump up 10 during this show, I mean, I'm sure they would be super pumped. But let's bring them on. And here we have the Carnival Cruise Addicts. And I'm going to let you two introduce yourselves and your channel and the type of content that you do. And I'm just going to shut up and do some drinking here while you all are doing that.
Sounds good. So I'm Liz.
I'm Chris.
And we are Carnival Cruise Addicts.
That's
All right.
If you've watched, that's how we start every video. It's just something we started with, and we're just two silly turds. So we just kind of continued on with that for everything we do. But yeah.
We started cruising in 1999 for our honeymoon. So we've been on 7 cruises.
56 total, yeah.
But we started the channel in July. He kept, first of all, you both inspired us to do it. I watched you through the pandemic. And actually, Coach, we were on a cruise with you, Horizon
2000 last year.
2022.
Yep.
Awesome.
And but we were like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be on camera. And I said, you know what? Let's just do it. So now we're starting out. We're having fun. It's all mostly, I mean, it is all Carnival cruises. That's what we love. Yeah. We'll probably branch out at some point, but we really do love Carnival. I mean, that's where we started with, and we tried some other lines, but we like Carnival. So, and we're not serious. We like to have fun. We clearly like to drink. And that's it. That's us.
Yeah, but I mean, you two, she was watching a ton of YouTube during COVID and the lockdown, and she kept saying, "Oh, you got to watch these guys. You got to watch these guys." And just watching you two and what you do, and the fact that you love what you do. It's not a job. It's not a task. It's not an obligation. You love doing what you do, and we love cruising as well. So you guys definitely inspired us to at least, start down that road to see where it goes. And we've had a great time doing it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you have the right mindset. And, when people talk to me about the channel, and Derek mentioned it, and you all are experiencing it, with starting out and editing and just a thumbnail. Sometimes I'll do a thumbnail, which you think like, oh, okay, that's just the little thing you see before you even click the video. What's that take? 2 minutes? You can spend 15, 20 minutes on a thumbnail sometimes. And then you mess with it and you don't like the text that you picked out. So you pick a different text and you delete that. And then the picture doesn't work right or something. And then you can waste, 20 minutes or more trying to create a thumbnail for your video. And then that's before the editing. I mean, if you edit, depending upon how much video you're sifting through, you could be editing for a couple hours for one video. And then you put that video out, and I know you all aren't getting a dime, because you don't get a dime until you reach 1,000. So you're only almost halfway there, but you'll get there soon enough. But that's the other thing that some people don't understand is some people think like, you know, Derek and I are making tons and tons of money. And sometimes just for laughs, I share with people. I'm like, here, look, you know, this video got 1,400 views or whatever. How much money do you think I made on it? And they're like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, you know, whatever. And I show them and it's like 82 cents or something, you know, and they're like, wait a minute, that got viewed 1,400 times and you only made 82 cents, you know? And I mean, you know, it has to do with the amount of time people watched and, you know, how long the video was and a whole bunch of different variables or whatever. But yeah, you know, you get a lot of times and you don't really make all that much money. And I'm still not, but the way I look at it is it's like a really super fun hobby, and a hobby doesn't do it justice. Cause like I said, it's all about the people and you meet. And I mean, honestly, you know, not only the people and the friendships that have been made through the start of the channel, but, you know, also on the ship, just the crew members too. You know, I mentioned Lee Mason and then, you know, a number of bartenders, because I like to drink, obviously, when I'm cruising. But, you know, like Maria from the Carnival Celebration. I know Cruise Life TV is on here. They were just on the celebration, but Maria had already left. But, you know, her and I did an excursion together. I'd seen her on several cruises, you know, had a great time hanging out with her. And yeah, so it's just wonderful. And you guys are getting some of that. Now, have you been on many cruises since you started the channel and met some of the people that have watched you?
So it's funny. We started in early July and it was like rudimentary. Like I had no idea because I do all the editing. So anyway,
She does. I just sit here.
we went on the ship with 30 something subscribers at the end of July. And we actually met somebody who was a subscriber, and it was like the most awesome feeling we've ever had. I'm like, I will never replicate this moment. I'm like, but yeah. And so we've been on 2 more cruises since then. We have like 5 more booked. But it was great meeting Cruise Life TV. We were on the cruise with them.
Yeah,
we did a live. You know, so like this community is so awesome. Like the fact that you even have us on your show right now is surreal. You know, like it's just amazing how much like everybody embraces each other, and you just really feel the passion and the love, and it's just super, like it makes you want to keep doing more and more, right? It's so exciting.
Yeah, you're not going to retire off YouTube. You're not going to make $1 million. You know, it's just about having the, you know, just fun and meeting people. And like Liz said, when we met that first person with 30 something subscribers, we're like, what the bleep did you just say? And, you know, we're like, holy cow. And again, being on the last cruise, we just got off on Saturday with Cruise Life TV. Sunday, sorry. It was just really cool to be there with, you know, another content creator, exchange stories. We had the opportunity to go live for an hour, you know, sitting out on the outside Pig and Anchor. It was just, it's great. You know, it's just fun. And, you know, we have the luxury of being able to do the cruises. You know, not everybody can do that, and you know, we all work our butts off, we all have our day jobs, you know, and being able to do that and share that information is just spectacular to me.
Yeah
no, that's awesome. And I wanted to ask Derek, because you guys said, you know, like somebody seeing you on the ship and coming out and how blown away you were by that. And you know, I had that experience too, but another experience, and I'm sure Derek, and I don't think I know this, Derek. So for me, the experience that blew me away was I was on Paradise Beach, and you know, I was filming some of the beach or some of the water toys or whatever, and somebody said, Coach Cruz, and I turned around and I'm like, oh, you know, are you on the ship? I think I was on the Horizon. And they're like, oh no, we're on the Vista. But we see your videos all the time, you know what? So somebody that wasn't on the same ship as me, you know, recognized me and you know, the channel or whatever and everything. So like if they're on the same ship, that happens, you know, that happens quite a bit. But to see me not on the ship, you know, somebody from a different thing, that was really cool for me. So Derek, what was your first experience like that you were in?
Yeah, I've had a few in different venues. The first people to, I guess, recognize Amanda and I. We went as the Mardi Gras was coming into North America for the first time in Port Canaveral, and we had launched in May, and this was in early June. And so we stayed at a hotel there by the terminal at Port Canaveral, and it's very popular for cruise guests. And it was just Amanda and I. We thought we'd enjoy the pool. They had a resort-style pool with a swim-up bar. So we thought, you know what, we're going to enjoy the pool. And within a few minutes, someone was over there saying, hey, it's Derek and Amanda. It's island time. And I totally did not expect that. And you guys probably can relate to this. I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't think someone was going to know me. And so then you're like, well, what do I even say? Thanks so much for following us and our content. But the value I think that's really neat out of all of it is, as we've mentioned, we're not going to retire off of this. I still have my day job. I remind people. But you get the value, you get the reward by meeting people, meeting the community, the cruise community. When someone says, hey, I watched one of your videos and you helped me check in early, or I watched your Carnival Vista tour and we thought that was the perfect ship for us, so we booked the Carnival Vista. Thanks very much. You get so much out of that. And that's where the value is, really. And then being able to do, all of us we do all of this really with our significant other. Amanda's involved from time to time. Of course, she travels, and there's so much value in that of working on a project together. Sometimes when you don't know, what can we create? What content can we create today? Or what do you think of this thumbnail? How many times have any of us created a thumbnail and brought it to our significant other, and they've said, are you done with that? Yeah, I think it looks good. No, it's terrible. So there's value there, I think, too, of going on this journey together and seeing where you explore. The craziest place, though, someone has said, I recognize you, is about 10 minutes down the road. I'm buying crab legs to cook at the house at a local Kroger, and the lady checking me out said, oh my, and I was buying Carnival gift cards. It's island time. Oh my goodness. And this is I live in a small town of 5,000 people. This is in a town of 50,000 people. But I was like, I expected for someone to see me on a cruise ship or at a beach, but at Kroger, 20 minutes away from my house, that was weird for sure.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's a great story, actually. All right. Well, so we have another guest, and this next guest is just about to hit 2,000, which is what I hit right about the same time. So, and he's going to hit it a little earlier than I did last year. I think last year, Derek and I were on the same ship. We were on the Carnival Breeze, and I was trying to hit 2,000. Yep. Now I'm trying to hit 6,000 before the end of the year. So it's been a great year. But this next guest is trying to hit 2,000. But before we get to our next guest, I want to point out Tim. Tim just did a super chat. He wants to hook Zoe up with the treat. Mm-hmm. So we have like this little shish kebab thing. And Zoe has been tearing my arm off over here. So Tim and Cheryl, thank you so much for that. And say thank you to Tim and Cheryl. Say thank you. 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 There you go. Good girl. All right. So thank you, Tim and Cheryl. And I just wanted to point out a couple things. Carnival Cruise Addicts. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I did the shot. Jay, I did do the shot. Okay. I started to think that I forgot to do the shot there for a second. Lalila wanted to say hi to you all. If you didn't see that, Crystal says, wow, you're awesome people. Will is already subscribed to you. Jay and Sherry said they are going to subscribe to you. If there's anybody else, Lalila just subscribed to your channel, Cruise Addicts. So I think when you get off the show today, you're going to look and say, oh, wow, look, we got some new subscribers. This is great. Crystal is a content creator, apparently. Getting to 1,000 is taking forever, but I'm kind of hoping the Christmas cruise on Jubilee will help. And Derek, I think you're going to be pretty familiar. Crystal, I'm sure you two are going on the same cruise, so that's you're going to.
Let's connect. We'll be in Galveston on the 20th. I think someone asked if we would be there for the ship coming in. The ship looks to be coming in between 8 and 9 o'clock a.m. We're flying down on the 20th. Amanda, my wife, has school, so she's got to go for part of the day. So if the Jubilee's on schedule, we won't be there at 9 a.m. We will be there in the afternoon. But Crystal, let's connect and create content, but plan on posting that content probably off the ship. As nice, and Coach, you know this, as nice as Starlink internet is, it's quick. The upload speed is still not very good. And so either short videos or go to Paradise Beach, go somewhere and get your Wi-Fi and upload your videos.
Right.
It's frustrating sometimes. When you've captured the content, you've edited the content, you're ready to share something, and you can't upload it. It's frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Cheryl just subscribed too. So yeah, you should have. It's gonna be a good show when you get off and be like, oh, this is awesome. All right, so
Thank you.
the next creator we have is less than 20 people away from 2,000. I feel like if you're not already subscribed to our next person or next couple, it is Josh and Chastity. Let's get him on the channel here. Josh and Chastity from the Moonlight Adventures.
What is going on, y'all? I apologize. I don't have my background in my studio set up because my wife Chastity has taken over the studio. So she is over there. We just finished our live stream. We come on every Tuesday at 7 just before Coach, and we had some guests on tonight. They're coming to visit us this weekend as we go to Busch Gardens, and so they're doing some last minute stuff on StreamYard as we all do when we get off and we chat and we socialize, right? So, but yeah, we're 18 away from 2K. I put a lofty goal on Coach Cruz's live at the beginning of the year. I was like, we're going to get to 5K. Now, in the back of Josh's mind, I was like, yeah, but shoot for the stars, land on the moon, right? So we get to 2K by the end of this year. We're ahead of schedule by my sundial. And if you would like to see entire and total train wrecks on a weekly basis, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. You'll see all the train wrecking you want to see.
And they do some great comedy.
You said doo-doo, Coach.
He said doo-doo.
You said doo-doo.
He said doo-doo.
And that wasn't on purpose.
Sometimes that happens on accident, right?
But you know what,
Yeah,
Josh?
sometimes you do on accident.
Josh is really serious about this endeavor, and he's also doing a podcast now, peer to peer, right?
That's correct. So it's me and the Naughty Cruiser, and
Right.
we are completing our first season right now of 11 podcasts. We've had Tony from Lolita Loca. We've had the Travel Sergeant on, who's on Let's Get to the Points. We've had Tyler from the Tyler Show. We've had your very own Coach Cruz. I'd like to get Island Time on as well, and Carnival Cruise Addicts. The idea behind the podcast, I love Joe Rogan, which a lot of people do. And he just kind of free verses, and he has someone on that has a specific niche, but they don't always talk the niche. So people know Coach Cruz for what he is on YouTube, but they may not know Coach for what he is as a person. And that's the thought process behind what we do on the peer-to-peer. I hope they they're still hearing me, but on peer-to-peer, we try to get to know the creator behind the creations, and we have a good time with it. And sometimes it goes down a path of what the YouTuber does, and that's fine. And then sometimes it goes down a path of learning more about that creator. We had Josh from Adventures Ahead on our last peer-to-peer. We talked a lot about the casino because they're casino specialists when they get on cruises. But we also talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and wrestling. So you never know how it's going to go.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I had the pleasure of joining them on one of the podcasts, as Josh pointed out. And the thing that was cool is I tuned in the following week, and all of a sudden, I hear this voice that sounds familiar. And I was like, is that Tony from Lolita Loca? And for anybody that may not know, anybody new to cruising, Tony is, and Derek had lunch with him not too long ago, but I'm like, did they get this guy? you know, because he's got like over 250,000 subscribers. So, you know, he dwarfs all of us quite a bit. And I was tickled because I think I was on the show before Tony. So I was like, I was happy to be the warm-up act. I was like, you know what? You mean I get to open for Tony, you know?
So funny enough though, and I think he's surpassed Lovey from Lovey's Fat Life now. But the Lovey episode was the big hit. I mean, we had so many replays on that episode. You're more than welcome to go back and look at it. I'm not going to tell you why it was such a big hit, because it was fiery. There was a lot of fiery debate afterward, but it was something we had to get off our chest because we've been working so hard for so long, and we got it off our chest. We're not going to revisit it. But even Tony said, you know, after we got off the live, he said, to begin with, I was like, I don't know why you guys talked about that. But he said, then as we continued down this path and I started seeing the comments, he's like, you know, it was something that needed to be said. And I enjoyed watching what you guys put out there and how you guys responded. Because we did, you know, Nadia and I both talked. And it's like, look, we're not going to get into muck and the mire of this thing. We put it out there. It was what it was. We're going to leave it alone. But, you know, and Tony's like, sometimes you got to put some stuff out there like that. Sometimes you just have to, you know, so, but anyway, it's been fun. And then, you know, like I say, Tony's surpassed them. We've had Addie and Terry on as well. And, you know, the idea is I know this gentleman, his name's Nathan from High Country Archery. He lives right down the road from my father-in-law. And so I don't know if you know anything about High Country Archery bows, but they were the first ones to build the cams on a compound bow. So they were the original compound bow people. But he is a private pilot, and what he does for a day job is flies hunters into all these different places as a private pilot. So I'm like, well, what a great tie-in to a Travel Chats channel than to bring, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring some niche folks in from theme parks and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it doesn't have to just be cruising. We can do all the different things.
Very cool.
I would appreciate, and Chastity would appreciate, everyone's subscribership. And, you know, we love Coach Cruz, and we've always been fans of Coach Cruz and Island Time, and Carnival Cruise Addicts as well. You know, they're, at least for us, new on our scene. We saw them popping up here and there. Fantastic supporters and, you know, great creators. So, you know, they all deserve your subscribership.
Yeah. And, well, you know, I want to go back to Derek here for a second. So, Derek is somebody that's about to hit 20,000 subscribers. What kind of lessons have you learned along the way that you would advise people that might want to try to do this themselves? You know, some of the things that maybe you've learned once you hit that 10,000 and higher threshold.
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing, if you'll take the leap, you'll be rewarded. And I know that all of us have mentioned relationships that we have with others, people that we've met. My cruises have been even better than what they were before I started Island Time, simply because of people that I meet. And so the reward is a big part of it. The other thing is to remember it's a journey. All of us dream big, and you look at the stats and the data, and some weeks you grow, you know, exponentially, or some months or a period of time you think, oh my gosh, we're doing something right. We took off. And you may not have done anything different than what you've done the last 6 months. You know, Coach, I think you reached out last week and you said, hey, you had a good video, had 25,000 views. I said, I have no clue how. Every single day when I'm in the studio, I create the video. It's the same work for me. If 1,000 people watch the video or 50,000, I put the same work and effort and energy into it. And so it's interesting to go on the journey and remember that it's not a sprint, that it is a journey, and to enjoy the scenery that's around you, enjoy working for those milestones, enjoy working for every subscriber and those big numbers. But there's so many rewards along the way, and it's enough to keep you grinding along. All of us, all four of us here, know the grind that it takes. You know, the other jobs that we have, the time that takes to create and edit and upload content, all of it, it's worth it all. It is at the end of the day. And so I've learned so much from it, and I've made some of my best friends from it. Coach, I'll share this about you. Amanda and I and our two boys were headed to this past summer, headed to Barcelona to cruise on the Venezia. And we were flying into one airport and going to fly out of another in Chicago at one point. And I was telling Coach about our plans. He said, well, how are you getting from one airport to the other? It's 35 minutes away. Yeah. I said, I don't know. I hope there's a train or something. And Coach said, what day is it? And I told him, he said, I'll take you. And it just so happened that Southwest changed the flights. But that's part of this whole thing. Situations like that, relationships like that, where you meet somebody and they say, you know what, I care about you. I want to help you out. And it has nothing to do with even a cruise at that point. It's just a human being seeing a need, helping another human being. That's what Coach was doing then. And that's the biggest joy in all of this, honestly.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Derek, because, it's like, so, I mean, we've met so many other creators, but, and I can vouch for what you're saying about Coach, but within the cruising community, you link into people, and when you meet them for the first time, you always find out they are the people you expected them to be.
Yeah.
I mean, like I have yet to meet anyone that I didn't expect them to be who I thought they really were.
Yep.
And, Coach Cruz, the first time I met him, and I felt comfortable enough because he opens the door up and I was like, damn, you are a big old son of a bitch. That is a tall, large individual. But we had that rapport already. And I don't know of another medium where you can get that. I don't know of anywhere else. If I ran into you tomorrow, Derek, I'm sure, we haven't met each other personally. This is probably the most interaction you and I have had. But still, I think we would just pick up be thick as thieves and go, right? Same thing with CCA down below. And
it blows my mind, and I'm sure we all get this, but it blows my mind how many times either I'm on the phone with someone helping them plan a cruise, or I'm on the ship cruising with them, and they say, you're just like you are on video. You seem that that's how you are. And we live in a world today where people are surprised by that, because you can be fake, you can be false, you can present one reality on social media and be somebody else. And we all see that in our local communities, right? We know people who post stuff and we're like, we know your life ain't that good, or your actions aren't that good. But people are almost surprised today when they plug into something like our content and then meet us in person somehow, and they're surprised that we really are who we are on video. And every time someone says that, I'm like, I hope you're not surprised by that. But we live in a world where people are surprised.
You're right.
Meet someone genuine.
Being genuine and authentic goes so far. And it's not like we've been doing this 2 years, so I guess we're a novice in this, and then you've been doing it longer, Derek, and you've had quite a bit more success. But for the Carnival Cruise Addicts, if there's one thing, and my wife and I hit on this because we got in this trap after we hit 1,000. It's like, okay, how when you're playing sports, to use a sports metaphor, when you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Yeah. And we got into that, and it's like, well, I'm afraid about what I might say. We started getting tight, not being ourselves, and we kind of plateaued a little bit. And, and we stopped having as many people in the live streams. I mean, at one point we were having 50 folks in the live stream. We're starting to build that back up, but we had begun to get we were afraid to speak our mind and say what we wanted to say. So we were on our anniversary cruise, and, we were sitting there. We were probably half drunk. But my wife and I were like, you know what? There's probably 1 million people that cruise that think exactly the way we think. So why in the world would we act any different? And so we've unleashed the filter, and we've been the way we are, and it is what it is, right? So like us or not, I mean, that's how we live our life in real life. So why wouldn't we do that on YouTube? So
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the Will G said, it's amazing how everybody supports each other. And it is true. I mean, the fact that we're on with you guys right now is amazing. That's the support of the community because we're all here to do, the same thing. And I totally agree. Just being yourself, I think, is the absolute key. You'll see some channels, whether it be cruising or otherwise on YouTube, that it's just so fake and cliche, and it's warming up to the people to just get subscribers and stuff like that. And it's just not who we are. And I don't think any of us on this, show right now are those people. We enjoy what we do. And, the fact that people like it and you could potentially make a little bit of money, a couple bear bucks here and there, it's even better, but just doing what we do. And I mean, she is the edit master by far. She, like Derek said, well, what do you think of this thumbnail? If you say it's okay, honey. But yeah, no, it's just that the community that is amazing, and it's such a great honor to be a part of it, quite honestly.
Yeah, I just think being yourself and being genuine in this day and age, when you have a world of crazy people around who just, that's the key to life, honestly. And so, but like to be here, like I feel so honored, like honestly.
Watching you guys for years and then to be on screen with you guys is like, wow, this is cool. So I mean, hopefully if we get to your level at some point in time, it's something we want to do as well, what we've learned from others.
Yeah.
Well, a good piece of advice that I got from a family member, honestly, when I launched this and we were trying to grow, and I was afraid of messing up and saying something, you offend somebody, and a family member said, "You know what, Derek, this is the first time you've ever lived. First time you've ever lived. You're going to make mistakes. It's not like you've gone down this road before. It's not like you've created a YouTube channel and you've had 5,000, 10,000 subscribers before. It's the first time you've done it. So it's okay to take those risks, to go out there and try to speak your mind, be who you are. It's the first time you've lived. Don't be afraid. You're not going to do it perfect." And I've really taken that to heart. I've got that one written down and taped downstairs on my mirror.
Our personal story. So I go back to the peer-to-peer, and it's September 17th was the day it happened. I think it's September 27th, maybe, was the day it happened. That night, we dropped 10 subscribers. Just in one night. Gone. Poof. Wow. That week, or that month, because, YouTube gives you the report of how many you pick up, 175 subscribers in that same month. So, we got off that live and we're like, oh God, this is where we just did it, but the support for what we said and what we did was pretty overwhelming. Now, if we would have continued down that path and just kept beating up, I'm sure we would have continued to lose more, but it was just, we kind of felt like we were standing up for some folks that maybe didn't have a voice, that work hard and do things right. Yeah. And that's all I'll say about that. But, so we talked a little bit about Tony, and the one, and he may have said this to you, Derek, when you had lunch with him, but the one thing he said that really stuck with me was there's only two numbers that matter in the YouTube world, 1,000 and 4,000. And as long as you maintain that, like you could have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours every year and have one video that takes off and be successful.
Yep.
So, don't measure your self-worth by how many subs you have. Measure your content. And I heard you, Derek, saying about how good it made. The payoff is when you meet someone that you genuinely helped. And if you maintain that, you're always going to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. One question we had earlier that I wanted to go around to is somebody had asked what our real jobs were. I shared mine in the comments. For those of you that missed that, I'm a teacher and a coach. A lot of people think that Coach Cruise is, coaching about cruising, which is very understandable. You would think that, but that's, create two passions together, my love for cruising and my love for, coaching and making an impact on kids and stuff. So that's the coach part of Coach Cruise. So, and, being a teacher, and I know we have many teachers in the comments Usnavi is one. Amanda, Derek's wife, is one. So, Derek, you want to tell everybody what you do, and we'll go around.
I wear a lot of different hats. My number one job is be a good husband to Amanda, to be a good father to my two boys. I didn't have a father growing up. I had a single mom and grew up as bad as you can get it, and knew there was a better reality. So that's my number one job. The way I make money is I work in data and marketing, and I'm a client service manager. So I manage relationships that my company has with almost every Fortune 500 company. I work in the healthcare space. We have a travel division. Matter of fact, Norwegian Cruise Line is one of our biggest clients, $30+ million a year. They pay us to do all their advertising. So every time you get a Norwegian email, physical piece of mail, or a digital ad, it's coming from my place of employment, actually. But yeah, I manage relationships and make sure that the contracts that are in place, we're going by them, the client's going by them. If they want to change anything, I say, well, here's what it would cost to add these extra features. All the credit card offers you get in the mail, not all of them, but a lot of them come from our marketing. The junk mail, sign up for this, sign up for that, junk mail. It comes from that. You look up a Carnival cruise on the computer, look it up, Carnival, and then you go to Facebook, there's a Carnival ad, and you think, oh my gosh, they know what I'm doing. Yeah, they do. They really do. Google, who of course owns YouTube, is a rich company, and they are rich because they sell that data a lot of times to companies like the company I work for. So data and marketing, relationship management is what I do.
So Carnival Cruise Addicts, you two want to take the next?
I'll start with mine because it's way less complicated. I'm a retail store manager for LL Flooring, have been for 17 years. So
Wow.
all aspects of the business with LL. I've been from an associate to a store manager to a regional installation manager. But the end game is, I sell hardwood floors and the flooring to customers and make them happy. And that's what makes me happy is, doing stuff like this. And very similar to the retail world is creating that relationship.
And I'm in human resources.
Boo.
So don't do anything stupid. I'll get in trouble.
No, Simone, she's the coolest human resource person you will ever meet in your life. Trust me. We've been married for 23 years now, since 99.
24 years, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm bad at math. Sorry. I remember the year. I'm just bad at math.
Whatever.
All right, Josh.
So
Cassidy.
it's complicated. If I had to put my job title, I'd say it's complicated. So, last time we met, I told you I was a program manager. I just quit that job because the stress level was just getting so high for me. So I moved to a different job that paid a little bit more and has less responsibility. So that's always a good thing. So now I'm a flight test engineer. That's what I do. I work on Army helicopters, and that's about as far as I'll go with that. But we're also, my wife and I, we started the Moonlight Adventures travel agency about 2 months ago, and we're starting to work as TAs. And, we have a 5-year goal, and that 5-year goal that we have is to pseudo retire, which, we know we're going to have to continue work, but work for ourselves doing what we want to do. And not what the man makes us do, right? So that's our goal. And also, because Derek, I know you dabble in this a little bit, and then of course the coach over there. I also umpire baseball, so I know Derek, you referee a little basketball.
Yep.
And so yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. It's not a job, but I probably put as many hours into that as I do YouTube, at least.
Yeah.
It takes some hours. The thing that I wanted, and Josh, you've probably experienced this. Derek, I'm sure you've experienced it. One of the things that I thought about when talking about, because we just, like we said, we all have regular jobs, right? So you go on a cruise ship and then you start to meet people that are watching your videos and stuff like that. And I literally laugh out loud sometimes when people come up to me and say, "Oh, you're Coach Cruz or whatever." I watch her, and the funniest to me are when I get parents come up to me and their kids. I've had this happen multiple times. Like, my kids watch your channel, which scares the heck out of me. I gotta say, it scares the bejesus out of me. It really does. I'm like, why are they watching? Why? I mean, I guess I'm not so bad or whatever, but
we have to click on every video. This video is not for kids. Yeah. Every time you go to video, you click that. You do, really. We know it. But I've had all of you here, really, you click the
yeah. If I would take a picture with their kids, and of course, I'm saying, and I'm just laughing literally out loud, because I'm like, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher and I'm a coach and everything. But, you go on these cruise ships when everybody's watching the videos and everything, and you're like, a Z list, not B list, but like Z list celebrity, I guess. And it's just honestly the funniest thing to me. But Derek, if you had a experience like that, and before you respond, I wanted to thank Cruise Life TV and now Crystal Sparkle, and I'm going to owe you both a shot here. Cruise Life TV, you're going to be 11 through 40, and Crystal Sparkle, you are going to be, let's see, I got to do math now. You're going to be 41 through 60. 41 through 60.
Yeah, you got 2 more shots to go. The math might get harder.
Yeah. well, definitely.
I'll cheers with you. I've got some Merlot. It's not nearly as strong as the bourbon, but
yeah,
vodka.
And then Josh and Carnival Cruise Addicts. I don't know if you got a phone handy or whatever, if you can check to see how many subscribers you've gone up. I mean, Derek's got to go up by a couple hundred. So, his isn't quite as, but yeah, I'd like to know that as well. But yeah, Derek, give me a story or whatever that you got a big kick out of when you were on a cruise ship, and Josh, and you as well, after, if you had a similar situation.
I had a lady one time, and you mentioned kids. I've had some kids, and a lot of times when I'm live, for some reason, I'll be live and a parent will stop and ask, "Are you recording? Are you live? My kid wants to meet you." And like, Coach, I'm like, how do they? And what I do for a living, I'm like, how's the algorithm show up like for the kid? The kid has got to be watching the parent's phone who's logged in, and the parents are looking at cruise stuff. But I had a lady run up to me one time, I think it was on the Vista, and she said, "I've been dying to tell you this. I've been dying to tell you this." And I said, "Well, do I know you? Do you join the show? Have we ever interacted?" No. I watch your show, but I've never messaged. She said, "You look and sound just like Seth Rogen." And I looked at her like, okay. And she's like, "Seth Rogen." She's like, "That's a compliment." And I wasn't sure who Seth Rogen is. I don't watch a lot of movies and stuff. And Amanda, she was like, "Seth Rogen, like, that's a compliment. That guy's rich. He's in a lot of movies. And yeah, you do kind of sound like him." But she was like, "I've got to get my picture. I've got to get my picture." So she gets her picture made and somehow gets it printed off at one of the ports. I don't know even how, but goes to somewhere and gets it printed off. 16 by 20, big picture. Comes back, wants me to sign it. I sign it, Island Times, and then Derek Phillips. And she's like, "Will you sign it, Seth Rogen?" I'm like, selling this? Like, what's the deal? And so she had a different color marker for the Seth Rogen, and she looked up Seth Rogen's signature, and I'm like, "Please don't sell this. I'm not trying to forge his signature." But then she got a picture with me, and still today, she will probably once a month reach out and thank me. "Thank you for signing that picture." And she's got it framed. She's got it on a wall. I don't know. I'm afraid to ask which wall. Is this 16 by 20 picture? Is it in your living room? Is it? I mean, I don't know. But the experiences are a lot of fun, and that was an experience for sure.
And Josh, if you've had a story as well, but before that, I did give Cruise Life TV. I gave Zoe a treat already on your account, Crystal Sparkle and Cruise Life TV also, because we didn't give you the whole story. So let's say thank you to both of them. Say thank you, good girl. All right, there's another treat. And Crystal, here is and Sandy is contributing fan. But Crystal, this is your shot here. Cruise Life TV, I did yours as well, and thank you so much, both of you. And then Sandy's jumping in here. Jay and Sherry, absolutely, and thank you for your super chat. We have Sandy there. Let's see, Sandy, you are going to be 61 through 70. 61 through 70. Look at that. We almost got to the point where we could give away 2 shirts tonight. And Tim, yeah, Jay, Sherry, absolutely. Good night. And Josh, what do you have in terms of a funny story on a cruise ship where we have a subscriber or something that recognized you, something like that?
So I have a couple, and the first one was when we were early in our YouTube channel, and I look back and it's like, man, our vlogs were so bad. But you guys may or may not know Meg from Meg and C's, and she's moderator for a lot of channels, and she contacted us through Instant Messenger one night, and she's like, "Hey, I'd like to be your moderator," and I'm like, "Cool, okay, yeah. What is that?" And so she let me know, and we had no idea that Meg was moderator for all these different people. 6 months down the road, her now boyfriend, everyone knows it's her boyfriend, Paul, he gives me a call because we were doing this little wrestling thing together, and he said, I don't know if you know this, but she doesn't just moderate anybody. She's like, there's something about you guys. So anyway, we called her, and she's like, I just felt like I knew you guys. And anyway, we've developed this family-like relationship with her, and she's a fantastic human. Go check out her YouTube page if you haven't. But then this last time we were on a cruise, we met some people who had been subscribers to us since 50 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And we were actually chatting them up like, hey, we're YouTubers, check out our channel. And she's like, oh, look, we've got video of you guys, because as soon as we saw you, we started videoing you because we knew that the piano bar was about to get turned up as soon as y'all guys walked in. She's like, but we know all about you guys. And, it's humbling and it's cool. It's really, really cool because, I don't know about you guys. I'm not getting rich off YouTube, but it sure is fun. And it is very rewarding. So that's cool just to meet people in the wild that appreciate and like what we're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we keep coming back to the people, and that's absolutely what it's all about. And
exactly, yeah.
Honestly, people have asked me, about and it is a job in a sense that you can't just take an extended break. Like, you have to keep going, because if you don't, things fall off very quickly. And I think that's the hard part for a lot of creators when they're starting up, especially in Carnival Cruise Addicts. You've been sticking with it, which is great. And that's absolutely what you have to do. And Josh has done the same thing. Derek's done the same. I've done the same thing. That's the hard part, is like, it's like running that marathon and you get to mile 10 and you're like, damn, I'm tired. I'd like to quit so bad. I wasn't planning for it to hurt this much, or not to say that it hurts, but you understand what I'm saying.
The grind is real.
I keep working. I'm not seeing, all the results I want, but then when you bring it back to the people you meet, that's your fuel, and that's what keeps you going and stuff. Just like I said, just like Derek, well, all of you right here, right now, probably if not for Coach Cruz, I don't know a single one of you,
Yeah.
But because of Coach Cruz, we've found a connection, even though we're in different parts of the country. I've hung out with Josh. I've hung out with Derek. Derek and I have cruised together multiple times. And like I say, that it's like a brother channel. And Carnival Cruise Addicts, you know, I found out about you guys because you were watching my channel and being supportive of my channel and everything. And, you know, now I'm trying to return the favor a little bit. And you know, and watching you two and stuff, and Josh, yeah, and it's just like I said, it's just a community of people helping one another, and I would find it extremely difficult finding another community other than people that cruise that is more supportive of one another. And you meet people in the cruising community, and like I said, you become like not just friends or hey, I'll call you whatever. I mean, but like you become like legit friends. Like
Yeah.
and it's just like one of the coolest things ever.
Hey, I've got one more for you, Coach Cruz. Were it not for Coach Cruz, there wouldn't have been a whole section on a Southwest plane heading to Miami that wouldn't have got shit-faced. That was because of you and your drink coupons. We were making it rain, baby. We were throwing them to everybody. That was you. That was all you, buddy.
That was my wife more than it was me.
My wife kept those in her pocketbook. She's like, here we go. Let's get it.
You're going through the aisle like this, Josh?
Exactly. Oh, we had a blast. They were ready. I think the stewardesses were ready for it. Well, we call them flight attendants now. I apologize. But they were ready for us to get off the plane.
It's an HR violation, by the way.
I know. I don't want to, you know.
Well, Carnival Cruise Addicts, everybody keeps talking about your backdrop there, which is your bar.
That's
so
awesome.
Is there any stories you want to relate, like any favorite liqueurs or things that you want to share about your bar back there?
So this is a green screen, but this is actually our bar in our living room, and we record a lot of video in front of it. But he likes to drink all this weird stuff. I just like vodka. I mean, honestly, that's it. But
yeah, if it's on the shelf, I've definitely drinking it before. I got a few favorites, scotches I really love. Lately, I've been getting into rums. So you'll see a little bit of everything. Everybody's cruised here. You'll see, if I can point to, I got to figure out this thing here.
The BBD.
You got the BBD, or the Big Black Dick Rum, which is
Attaboy.
spectacular. You know, just a bunch of random stuff. I love going to the islands and making her gonna go to Grand Cayman and make her ask for one of those bottles. And you know, the people behind the counter love it because she's a little 5 foot nothing. And she's like, "Can I get a bottle of that rum there?" And they're like, "What rum do you want, young lady?" "I'm the one over there." "What one?" "The dumb." And they make her say it, and it's freaking hysterical. But yeah, this is our actual bar in our living room.
That's
awesome.
That's like Ted in the Google search, right? You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to say it on air, but
Right.
you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Let's see here. Well, if Lido Tito is still, well, Usnavi is still on here, so I'm assuming Lido Tito is on here. So he's a big vodka fan too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you know which one he's a big fan of. We don't have Fireball Steve on here today, though. It doesn't look like, but
yeah, we have Fireball back here somewhere. This is why me getting used to a green screen. I'm like, it's back here. Oh wait, no, that's green screen. Never mind.
There's Lido Tito. Yeah, he's a vodka fan also, Liz. So yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we actually went over. We're over the time, but I've had such a good time chatting with you all. I didn't want it to end, but I wanted to thank each and every one of you. Derek, you know, like I said, he's going to hit 20,000. I'm sure it's going to be before the end of the year.
We hope.
Our Carnival Cruise Addicts, Liz and Chris, you know, thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
They got 10 new subscribers they shared already. So they are super close to that 500, super close to that halfway mark. So that's great to see. So thank you to all of you that gave them support and subscribed to them. And then, of course, Josh, he's just coming back on here now. He's about to hit 2,000. I was hoping we could get him to 1.99. Are we about to?
I think we're there. So we're close. The last I checked, we were at I think we were at 1990 the last I checked.
Ooh.
We're
Through the
danger
replay,
close.
you'll get it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're danger close. Coach, I appreciate you. You've been instrumental in helping us out. And, I say that, so you and SCT Adventures really gave us our inspiration and our start. So other than Disney cruisers, like we watched you guys heavily in the beginning, and Greg and Felicia from SCT, they encouraged us to make a channel. They're like, you guys have the character to do it. Try it out, see what happens. But Coach, you've given us many opportunities when you didn't have to, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I mean, that's kind of what this episode I wanted to be themed behind, because that's what I feel like Derek, has helped me with, and getting started and everything like that. And so my hat's off to Derek and Island Time. And I wanted to pay it forward a little bit. And, like I said, we're all just one big community. And, there's enough to go around for everybody if we just keep helping each other out.
Yeah, exactly. If the cruising YouTube community grows, we all grow. So, yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. I try to tell people when they say, don't tell anybody, but I watch you and Tony only. I say, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. If you ask Tony, he wants you to watch everybody. You ask me, I want you to watch Dawn. I want you to watch Coach. Watch everybody. We're all in it together. It's not a competition. When one of us grow, we all grow. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, and that's so. I hate to interrupt you there, Coach, but I don't know if you guys have probably experienced it too. But as you meet more people, one of the cool things I've noticed too is like when you get into editing a video and you're missing some little piece of video, you can reach out to folks and they gladly give it to you, and it's just like, you don't feel, again, it's a community. It's not a competition.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people have stuck on here more than 10 minutes past the hour, that really love the show and everything. And that's because of all three of you, all four of you, I should say. But yeah, just thank you all for what you do. And everybody, thank you, everybody, for the support, not only of my channel, but all of their channels. Thank you for everybody that subscribed to Josh and Carnival Cruise Addicts and Island Time, and myself, if you did. Derek will start from the big one, trying to hit 20,000 before the end of the month. Carnival Cruise Addicts trying to hit 500 before the end of the month. And Josh and Chastity with Moonlight Adventures, they're probably going to hit 2,000 within the next day or two. They're only about 10 away now after this
CCA.
So anybody watching this on replay, if you haven't
we got you, CCA. By the end of the night, you'll be at 500. We got you.
Right.
Thank you for sharing as well. We love it. Thank you guys so much. And Coach, thank you. We really appreciate it. Like I said, being on the cruise with you. You didn't even know it, but we saw you walking by a couple times doing, filming footage, and we're like, "Him! Oh, there he goes." But it was really cool just to see somebody, and you helping us and bringing everybody on is really appreciated, man. It really is.
Yep. And Derek, we love you too, for sure. Yep. And Moonlight, we already subscribed to you too.
Yep.
So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have a great night, everybody. Everybody's still watching. Appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you.